There is a realm within the feminine psyche that very few men ever truly reach. Not because it is concealed, but because even she often avoids confronting what resides there. Carl Jung referred to this territory as the shadow, an internal landscape where repressed desires, untamed impulses, and silent fantasies remain hidden beneath a carefully maintained social persona. She will never display this side of herself on social media. She will not casually reveal it in therapy. At best, she may share pieces of it with her closest friend at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yet, it exists, and the man who understands what inhabits that shadow does not spend his life pursuing women. He becomes the kind of presence they cannot remove from their minds. Most men go through life responding to the version of a woman she presents to the world, the pleasant one, the sensible one, the version that claims she wants a kind, emotionally available man who communicates effectively. And those same men often end up friend-zoned, ignored, or quietly exchanged for someone else, because what she says she desires and what truly stirs something primal within her are two completely different discussions. This is not about manipulation. It is not about games or techniques. It is about understanding the architecture of feminine desire at a level most men are too comfortable, too courteous, or too reluctant to explore. If this makes you uncomfortable, type the word shadow in the comments. Do it now, because discomfort is often the first indication that you are approaching something genuine. Carl Jung did not investigate the shadow to condemn people. He uncovered it to free them. And what lives inside a woman's shadow is not darkness for the sake of darkness. It is depth. It is the part of her that has never been fully permitted to speak. From an early age, she was taught to be acceptable, to be pleasant, to be agreeable, to restrain the hunger, the anger, and the longing that felt too intense and too raw to express openly. So she contained it. She refined it. She learned to embody softness even while something far more powerful was moving beneath the surface. Now, this is where many older men make a critical error. They meet a woman, observe the performance, and respond only to the performance. They dedicate flowers to the mask. They dedicate poetry to the social persona. They attempt to earn their way into her heart through consistency and proper behavior. And she appreciates them in much the same way she appreciates a dependable appliance. What she cannot manufacture is a reaction to a man who sees beyond the performance, without hesitation, a man who does not need her to be agreeable, a man who is not unsettled by her softness, not confused by her contradictions, and not reliant on her approval. That man does not feel like a suitor. He feels like a mirror, and she cannot turn away from a mirror that reflects something she has never been allowed to recognize within herself. This is frame. Not arrogance, not emotional coldness. Frame, the quiet and grounded certainty of a man who knows exactly who he is, whether she validates it or not. If you have been minimizing yourself to keep a woman comfortable, type frame in the comments, because that very act of shrinking is often the reason she stopped noticing you. Here is the psychological reality the self-help world rarely discusses, because it is uncomfortable to hear. Women are not primarily attracted to what you do for them. They are attracted to what you refuse to sacrifice because of them. Read that once more. A man who alters his life, his standards, his silence, and his self-respect simply to accommodate a woman's mood is not being romantic. He is communicating something. A signal that says, I do not fully believe I am enough without your approval. And the feminine nervous system, not the rational mind, but the nervous system, detects that signal almost instantly. It interprets it as weakness, and weakness does not awaken the shadow, it puts it to sleep. What activates what lives inside her shadow is polarity, the experience of encountering something that doesn't bend, a man who can hold space for her storm without becoming part of the storm himself, a man who can hear her resistance and answer not with apology or defensiveness, but with composure. That composure is not indifference, it is mastery, and mastery remains one of the oldest aphrodisiacs that has ever existed. As a mature man, you possess something younger men cannot imitate. You carry the imprint of a life genuinely lived, decisions made, losses endured, lessons paid for in full. That weight, when carried properly, is experienced as gravity rather than burden. Gravity, the kind that makes a woman feel like she is finally standing beside something that will not crumble beneath the weight of her emotions. The man who understands this does not compete with younger men. He belongs to an entirely different category.